according to all accounts, the New York Jets absolutely dominated the Giants in a joint practice on Wednesday. Aaron Rodgers, 15 of 21 for 3 touchdowns. Could have had a fourth, but Lazard dropped an easy one. Garrett with 2 touchdowns, over 50 yards. Once again, was very impressive all day in a joint practice. O-line was dominant. There's reports that both Burns and Thibodeau, they both got face planted into the turf by our tackles, TT and Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
Brees caught a tutty. Defense gave up absolutely nothing. Even Tyrod got off, connected down the field a couple times, including the practice-ending bomb to your boy Brownlee.
Mm-hmm.
Big guy. I know it's just a practice, but I mean, how are you feeling about these reports on our joint practice with the Giants today?
You got to be happy with it. And listen, Nick, I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's a hell of a lot better than the opposite, right? Okay. So we've had a lot of times where we come out of joint practices and, we're hearing shit like, well, we competed today, we battled, and these are things that you get better from and all that type of bullshit instead of, we dominated today. And, listen, the Giants, they need to get some, some more work and some more players. I mean, did you see when they talked to Sauce about Daniel Jones?
Yes.
That is going to be huge. Okay. And listen, the Giants can't do anything about it, but there are going to be a lot of people going to talk about that. And some people are going to say, oh, so, he needs to be more diplomatic and whatnot. I thought he tried to be diplomatic, but of course he could have been better. And he'll figure out a way to be better in certain times. But, it's obvious that he didn't think much of Daniel Jones' playing ability. But the fact of the matter is nobody says, Nick, like when guys were asked about Zach Wilson, they tried to be nice about it. One guy was laughing at one time, but most of the player, they don't denigrate each other that way. So he'll get better at that. But, listen, man, we're the better team. I mean, we just are. And now, with a lot of the talk that's happening and stuff, we have to be healthy. So now are you thinking that nobody plays on Saturday?
Yeah, I think that is the case now. Asala says he already knows the answer, but he's not going to reveal it just yet. And after having such a clean practice, I mean, in all phases, offensive line looked great, quarterback obviously looked great, weapons looked great, defense looked great. Why even mess with it? Why even go into this game against the Giants, especially now that there's been some bulletin board material put out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my starters out there now. And I get it. Listen, I flip-flopped on this a few times in just this training camp. But, as far as like, should they play, should they not play? At first I said, nah, who cares? Then I said, I want to see them play. And I think that was more of a reaction to the fact that, the Burrows and the Patrick Mahomes of the world are playing entire halves sometimes. But at the end of the day, hearing Rodgers talk about it and talk about the fact that the preseason game is not even a realistic, comparison, reenactment or whatever to the actual game. The only difference is that you can actually get hit. And if he doesn't feel like he needs to get over that mental hurdle of taking that first hit, then I'm not worried about it either. And I don't want him to take any hits this season. I want him to go straight up Brady and fall down anytime somebody gets close to him. So I just think that with today playing out how it did and everything going so well, I think there's zero chance that we see them play in the preseason game this Saturday.
Yeah, I doubt it. And my feeling on this. I do want them to play, but I am softening on it for a couple of reasons. Rodgers has come out and said this is the hardest training camp he's had in 7 or 8 years.
Yep.
Okay, number one. Number two, Saleh has said with the new way they're doing things, right now they have about 300 more plays, more snaps in this training camp than in years past.
Okay.
So they're running at an extreme pace.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I thought that was a very good bit of news that they, 300 more snaps in one preseason or one training camp. That's significant. So that makes me feel like they will be more prepared for the season.
I like the sounds of that. I also liked what I heard from Robert Saleh on Barton Hahn late last week when he talked about the fact that he one of the adjustments he's made going into this season is making it more about X's and O's and less about messaging. He says when you come in and you're a head coach, you want to be the CEO, and you're so worried about messaging both internally and externally. And when he said that, it made me think, and I thought to myself, there's been a lot less like catchphrases this year from him and from all the players. There's a lot less like all gas, no brakes, keep the main thing that he says all the time. And then, the sauces and the Quinnins of the world parrot. All of that has chilled out this year. And you know what? I could see why that's a good thing and why he says, okay, listen, I got here because I was great at the X's and O's. So I need to put more time into that. And I think that can help on both sides of the ball. I think the defense obviously has been great the last few years, but having a defensive mind like him be more involved can't hurt. I
You
hope that
know,
he's talking to the offense a lot. I hope that he's sitting down and
they say he is.
he's talking with Hackett about the fact that, like, listen, this is what we would be looking to do. This is what we would be trying to do, and this is how we would be trying to attack you. So and they're going back and forth about some of those things, and maybe they can, level each other up to a certain extent. But I like the fact that Salah. First of all, I love when a guy comes in and he says, "These are the things that I haven't done that I haven't done well, and I need to get better at." I like when you have a mindset like that, and I thought that I could see the results of the less worrying about the messaging, and I think that's something that I could see as a new head coach you think is a really big deal, and you end up realizing that, man, fuck all that messaging bullshit and this and that and these catchphrases that we tape above walls and shit. Yo, get out here and let's win. Bill Belichick had one freaking, message his entire career, and it was do your job. And that was it. There was no, he wasn't worried about how he came off to the press or anything like that. And I'm glad that Salah is, hunkering down and taking a little bit more of that type of mindset.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Listen, I'm a solid fan, so I like what I'm hearing from him. All of that, I agree with all of that. Yeah, I mean, I want Belichickian results, but yeah,
Sure.
I'm not a fan, and him without Brady. I mean, come on, we can get into that conversation some other time, but I mean, let's go easy with the Belichick comparisons.
Wait.
JETS.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
comparisons in a coach, Nick. I know he's a much greater coach. No,
Yeah,
no
but you
doubt
seem
about
to
that.
be poo-pooing, just Belichick overall as a coach, saying that the only
I think
reason
Belichick
that
was a
he
great
has that
coach. Maybe
success
one
is
of the
because he
greatest
got lucky with Brady. Is that what
maybe
is
one
that
of
what
the
you're
greatest
saying?
of all time. But
Maybe.
I always say, well, yeah. I mean, listen, his record bears him out and all that. That he's the greatest of all time, right? I will tell you now, I wouldn't hire him now. Okay, hire him now and give your team over to him. I mean, I'm sorry, he's 73 years old. You know what? I don't know. I mean, I suppose. I wouldn't hire Bell. That's just me.
Belichick this
He'll
time
be
next
coaching
year
somewhere next
will
year
be the
because
head
I'm not an
coach.
owner.
He'll be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Think so?
Yeah.
Nah,
Come
I
on,
think
man.
somebody.
McCarthy is a stooge, and they are going to crash and burn the
I
CeeDee
know.
Lamb
That's what you
situation.
think.
Your
No.
boy Jerry Jones is talking too much. He's going, and then he's desperate, as
And if
he
they crash and
always
burn,
says.
Dak is out. And that's
Maybe.
going to be a problem. They're not going to replace Dak at that level. I don't think so. You have a lower opinion of Dak. I think Dak's a very good quarterback.
I think Dak's okay. I think that
Better than okay.
I no, okay. I take that back. I do think Dak is better than okay. I think that he hasn't performed great in the playoffs, and I don't think he's worth like $60 or $70 million a year.
Right. Well, somebody's going to give it to him. We know that, right? Whether or not Jerry gives it to him is a real question, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Haason Reddick still holding out. No reports of
None.
any type of progress or talks or anything like that. And I mean, he has zero leverage. All he's
Zero.
doing is losing money. I don't understand what he
I don't
thinks
get
is
it.
going to happen. I don't get it because so what are you going to do, guy? You going to sit out the entire year?
You're
Is
going
it
to
just
pull a Le'Veon?
so a Le'Veon? Now, think about it. Guys who stay out an entire year, Le'Veon Bell, Deshaun Watson had to sit out an entire year for another reason.
Has that ever worked out well? No.
Even Mosley. Even Mosley. Remember Mosley, he sat out the COVID year. The next year, he had a down year. And since then, he's picked it up and regained what we saw from him previous. But it never works out for anybody. You think you're going to sit out this year, lose all that money, then some team is going to sign you for that 28
No, Nick, no.
No, he doesn't lose the eligibility.
We own the rights.
Right.
So for another year.
What is he doing?
So I don't get it, Nick. Maybe listen, this might be above my pay grade. I might not understand. But what are you going to sit out this entire year? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Because clearly the Jets want him in. And if this guy comes in and has 2 practices where he looks lights out, they're going to want to give him some money or do better. But of course, I do get it from his point of view. He could come in and his first step on the field when he makes a cut, bust up his knee. Now what?
But if he
now you
doesn't,
collect the $14 million you're supposed to make.
But if he doesn't step on the field, then what? That's my whole thing.
It all.
He
right.
can't. It's
There's
not.
No upside.
And the Jets have a super deep defensive line, so it's not like he's got us by the balls. That's not the situation, guy.
I feel like they're, pumping up McDonald just for audience of one.
You think so?
Well, they could be. I mean, listen, man. If you were Joe Douglas, would you not do that? One of your little, send it to somebody in your little media plant and say put that out. Maybe. I don't know. But listen, it doesn't matter, man. They are having a good preseason. We do have a good defensive line even without this guy. Of course, with him, it absolutely blows us up and makes us, mega. But I don't see where he's in a good position here. I just don't. And honestly, and I usually side with the player, but if I'm what's his name, if I'm Joe Douglas, what am I doing? Why am I calling this guy? I'm like, hey man, you know where we are. We're in Florham Park, 1 Jets Drive. Anytime, we're here. We'll leave the light on for you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get what he's trying to do. Your boy Clemens is. I read something today that said he might be fighting for a roster spot.
Clemens.
Yeah, man,
really?
That he struggled a little bit recently. Listen, man. This is life moves fast in a big city. Things have changed over the last couple of weeks, man. And so Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald, they combined for a sack today. Will McDonald, that's the thing. He's been flashing on tape, in these joint practices. So I don't think it's just a tactic by Joe Douglas.
No, not just that. No. I think he's playing well, Nick. But I'm saying, if I'm Joe Douglas, I put that out there a little more, and why not?
Right. Just to show that you have absolutely no leverage. But no, I mean Clemens currently is still ranked as second on the depth chart at right defensive end behind Reddick. So I don't even know how that is. But then I've also heard this kid McKinley, former first round pick. Yes, man. I've heard that he's looked very, very good. That he's making some decisions tough, and then we have some tough decisions as well when it comes to returner.
Oh yes. But who else is killing on the defensive line? They say is Kinlaw.
Yeah.
Kinlaw. What's his name? Rodgers called him. He said that guy's a creature. He's like you can't believe this guy. He's a monster. Yeah. That was his exact words, creature. And then, yes, returner. I'm telling you, man, what's going to happen? I mean, with receivers and whatnot, what's going to happen with Gibson?
No, I have not seen anything that says that Gibson is on the bubble. I think the bubble guys are Brownlee's on the bubble.
What's his name just got hurt, right? This guy.
Isaiah.
He's out for the season. Charles, is he out? Is he with the Wolf? Is he out for the season?
Is he out for the season?
Irvin Charles or whatever.
Irvin Charles? I don't know.
Somebody just got hurt and is out for the season.
I know he had 2 injuries in the last preseason game. I know that much. And
one guy got hurt and he's out for the season. One of the receivers, and we signed some other receiver, but he's clearly not going to make the team. But yeah, that all happened in this past week.
No, Charles has got a hit, but they say that he's looking like he's going to be okay.
Oh, okay. Somebody, I know Brownlee's back. Charles is back.
Brownlee's back. He had a huge catch today
Brownlee
to
had a
close
good
it out.
game today.
Yeah, or good practice.
He's a he's a good young player.
And I like him as a guy that, if Lazard is fucking up, he's a guy who could steal some snaps from him because, with Lazard, you never know. He's got Rodgers back, but he's also, dropping easy touchdowns today. So if,
Well,
if
I heard he had a
up
couple other good catches besides that, number one. Number two, it didn't really cost Rodgers a touchdown because we still scored a touchdown on that drive.
Fair enough. Okay. But, catch the fucking ball. How about that?
That would be
How
nice,
about that
yes.
guy?
Listen, they said Garrett Wilson, who was amazing today, he could have been even more amazing. He dropped one pass and another pass that was absolutely amazing, they said, and an absolutely amazing catch. He just missed getting 2 feet down. And
I heard the one that he dropped was a little bit behind.
A little behind him,
possibly.
Yes. I did hear that.
Well, listen, man, it's exciting. I can't wait for the season to get started. I hate that we have to wait till Monday night on that opening weekend, but it is what it is. We'll be right back out there. Hopefully, it'll be the excitement pregame will be the only deja vu that we have that night.
Yes, really, man. Yeah. Everyone will be uptight for that.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to be running out with the flag though, because it's not September 11th or anything. So Rodgers ain't running out. No, we're not doing that reenactment, right? It can't be exact like that anymore.
No.
Have someone else have Brees run with it or something.
No, there'll be no
see him
flag.
doing that exact thing again.
They won't be. Yeah, right.
No.
Just kidding.
No.
I don't even want to see him close to an American flag ever again.
Holy smokes, man! No. It's all going to go perfect.